All right. Welcome to Freebie Friday. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tom Perrone. I own a little consulting group called Stronghold Training, and we do a bunch of stuff. But one of the things that we do a lot of, especially here in the last year and a half, 2 years, is marketing consulting. I'm not a marketing company. I don't really do much marketing for people. I have done it, but I don't typically do that. But I do help people market their business better. And so I got the harebrained idea yesterday, literally yesterday, around lunch. I said, "Man, I just want to do a freebie Friday webinar every Friday, um, where I give something away and some information, and then something else cool." So that's where this came from. So thanks for everybody who I didn't market this at all. So all of you who are here, thank you for responding on such short notice. I'll follow up with you and let you know what next Friday is. I'm still thinking about that. But today, the freebie is you're going to learn how to make a Facebook lead ad, specific type of ad. And then you're going to, if you attend, so if you're watching the recording, I'm sorry, but if you attended live, as many of you are now, you will get access to my VIP Mastermind Vault free for 30 days. And there's just a ton of stuff in there. So I hope you enjoy checking that out. For those of you who don't get the free Mastermind Vault, you can enjoy the recording of this webinar and check out the vault at another time. Next week, maybe I'll give away that again and something else cool. Let me know what you want me to give away, as long as it's not cash. I'm not doing cash giveaways yet. So we have a whole hour, but it's probably going to take that long for me to walk through this, because you probably want me to walk through this slow and answer questions that you have while I do it. So I don't have a lot of slides. I don't have a lot of intro. Actually, I have no slides, and this is the intro. I really just want to dive in and show you how to make this thing. It's very similar to what we do in my private client group. Mondays, we have a call where we talk about strategy and what kind of ads we would run, or what type of strategies we would run to grow our business. And then on Thursday, we have a tactics call where I show them like how to literally do this stuff. And this week on the tactics call, I was showing them how to make these lead gen ads. Just so happens I've got a number of clients in the group that have been getting a ton of leads from this. And I was just like, for entrepreneurs, this is really the best ad to run from a cost standpoint. I did a Facebook Live earlier today where I went into why this is the best type of ad to run. So you might want to go back to facebook.com/stronghold trainer, or just go into Facebook and search for Stronghold Training and look at my Facebook Live. It's only about 15 minutes earlier today where I explained why this is the ad that if you're an entrepreneur or small business, you should be running. So what we're going to do now in the 57 minutes we have remaining, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to try to slow down, although I'm drinking a lot of coffee today. I'm going to try to slow down and show you how this is done. Now, you're going to get a copy of this recording, so you can go back through in the areas you're stuck in. So if I start going a little fast, don't freak out. If you have questions while we go through, please drop them into the Q&A. I don't monitor the chat much. I might check it at the end. But if you have a specific question for me, not a comment, but a specific question for me, please go into the bottom there, your little bar there, and put that in the Q&A. To kick us off, I have a question for you. This you will answer in the chat, not the Q&A, which is, what ads are you running now? So if you can go into the webinar chat there, just say hi. Make sure you select all panelists and attendees so everyone can see your answer. And just let people know what kind of ads you're running. I see some person already said there, no ads yet. All right, that helps me know how fast. Greg says none at the moment. Jonathan has some homes ads running for probably real estate, I'm assuming. That helps me know kind of how slow I need to go today too. See how familiar you are with this. Now, Dana said she's running ads for open houses and listings. Dana, are you doing that through Facebook Ads Manager, or are you doing that just by boosting posts? Ads Manager. Good. Well, that's where we're going to begin today, because some of you might not know the difference. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. In order to run ads on Facebook, you must have a Facebook business page. You can't run ads from your personal page. And most of you, or many of you, may be used to just boosting posts. You know, you go to a post. Here's a post for this little webinar here. I could click boost post, and that would boost it. And while technically that's an ad, it's not a Facebook ad like I'm talking about. It's not the real type of ads. That's just a boosted post. Okay, so it's technically an ad. If you want to see how to make the real ads, the good stuff, you can go up here to Ad Center on your business page. When you pull up Ad Center, this is the long way to get here. You only have to do this once. Once you click Ad Center, click on All Ads, and then you're just going to scroll to the bottom. I made the mistake of uploading something while I'm having this webinar, so hopefully I don't freeze. I think I got all the kids off of all this. Well, I think one of them streaming something out there, but all right. And then see here at the bottom, it says show more details in Ads Manager. So Ad Center, All Ads, scroll to the bottom and click Ads Manager. That is the long route to get to your Facebook Ads Manager. Once you've done that once, never do it again. Go up here and if you're using Chrome, you can hit the little star there. Bookmark the page, okay? So here I am in Ads Manager. This is my test account. So I like to use this account for webinars and stuff like that. I've got a few of these accounts. But here we are in it. So I'm actually going to drop out of this, go into this account here. This is what I use for showing you some of the results and stuff like that on some other things. So this is actually my test account. The other one was my personal account. So what we're going to do today is make a Facebook leads ad. Now, to make the Facebook Ads Manager that you're looking at here, really, really easy to understand. All you need to do is consider these three tabs. Now, if your Ads Manager looks different than mine, it might be because you're running the old version. And somewhere at the top over here for you guys, it's going to say, try the new version of Ads Manager. Go ahead and click that. It is actually better. Even if you're used to the old way, it's better because it actually gets less of the nonsense out of your way. You just get a lot of the junk that was there before and nobody used out of the way. You can switch ads accounts up here. I've got a bunch of them. You can switch ad accounts up here. But the main thing you need to know about Facebook Ads Manager to make it very easy is there's three tabs. You've got campaigns, ad sets, and ads. And they're within one another, just like file folders, like you see here. Within the campaign, you have various ad sets, and within each ad set, you have ads. Now, most of us, when we first get into this, will have one campaign with one ad set and one ad, and that's fine. And if we had a little bit more time, I'd show you why you can really do a lot more than that. It's something in my private client group, again, just to soft pedal that to you. We get into that because really that's where the magic happens, is getting into multiple ad sets, running various ads and testing and all the retargeting and all that fun stuff. But what you need to understand is that the campaign, okay, if you're taking any notes, this is really all you have to write down. The campaign is the type of ad you're running. The ad set is your audience and budget, typically. And the ad is, well, the ad, the picture or the video thingy. So this will be really clear. We're going to just click create, and it's now creating a campaign. All right, we're going to start over. We're not going to do that one. And you can see here to the left, you've got the campaign, the ad set within that, audience and budget, and then the ad itself. Very, very simple. 3 parts to any ad campaign. As long as you understand that, you don't get overwhelmed with options. These buckets actually help. So the campaign, again, for definition purposes, to keep this easy, the campaign is the type of ad you are running. And you see here, it gives us a lot of different options. And these matter because depending on what you choose, will do two major things. The first major thing it will do is it will determine the options you get within this campaign. You get different options depending on what you choose. The second major thing it will do is it will basically instruct the Facebook algorithm, the Facebook computer that's working these things on how to behave. All right. So not all ads are the same, and that begins at the campaign level. Now, for those of you, I noticed a couple of you had mentioned some real estate ads you were running. For those of you in real estate or finance, or you're trying to run employment-based ads, you fall under the special ad category, and those politicians and people like that do as well. And if you don't select special ad category, the Facebook bots are, and the police bots of Facebook are going to reject your ad. As a matter of fact, sometimes they reject your ad. Oftentimes they reject your ad, calling you a special ad category when you are not one, and you have to dispute that, which is fine. Eventually it will get taken care of, though that can delay the ad from running. But if you're running an ad for real estate, you need to select that you're a special ad category, which means you're going to follow special rules, which unfortunately is going to limit how many people you can target, or how you can target people is a better way to say that, which is fair. It's legal. So if you're running ads for housing, you're running real estate ads, you have to comply with fair housing laws, which means you can't target people based on income, and you can't target people based on other demographics. And so when you click that special ad category, they remove those options, don't even let you make those violations. So it's actually a help to you, but you have to get a little bit more creative in your targeting then, and you have to attract people in a little bit of a different way. So just be aware of that, okay? And you may say things in your ad that triggers Facebook to think you're a special ad category when you're not. For example, I have an online real estate training. And when I run ads for the online real estate training, sometimes Facebook thinks I'm running real estate ads, and they reject my ads as special ad category, and I have to dispute them. So that's just an example. It could happen to you. Don't freak out if that happens. All right, all that to say, what kind of ad are we running? Well, we're running a lead generation ad. You can see it here. And it says it drives more sales leads, such as email addresses from people interested in your brand or business. Primarily, the only ads I ever recommend running are conversion ads, sometimes engagement, or sometimes video views. Well, to be fair, I've got clients I work with that are running messages, campaigns, lead generation, video views, engagement, and conversions. But that's it. Primarily conversions, engagement, and lead generation. I don't have time today to go into what all of those mean, but I will say this. The primary difference between lead generation from all these others is that lead generation ads allow us to create a form where people fill out their information, which becomes a lead to you. So if I run an ad for engagement and someone clicks on my ad, I can retarget those people. I know someone clicked on my ad. I mean, there's ways to reach out to them, but I'm not going to get their personal phone number to call them and book an appointment. For most entrepreneurs, what we really need is kind of a phone number, start booking appointments type stuff. And the cheapest way to do that, best way to do that, is through a lead generation ad, where we have some sort of lead magnet, something they want to download, a list or an article or a tool, or they want to get a consultation from you. And so they click on that ad, they fill out the form, and then you call them. And while you pay a little bit of money to reach those people, you primarily pay when they actually complete the form. So it's a very cost-effective way to advertise. So we're going to do a lead generation today. The minute I click that, I'm still in campaigns. It's going to have me name the campaign. We're just going to call it lead generation today. And then it asks for me to set a budget. Now, with all those other categories, all those other types of leads, your budget usually goes with your ad set, your audience. So you can have multiple budgets for multiple audiences, not with the lead gen ads. The campaign has one budget. It can either be daily or lifetime. And so we are going to do a lifetime budget. This campaign, this lead generation campaign, is going to be $100. Oops, not $1, $100. Don't ask me what your budget should be. That's going to depend on a lot of variables. There's not a one size fits all on that. We'll talk about that another time. So $100, lifetime budget for this one, and continue. Now, as you can see over here to the left, we've moved into the ad set, which is your audience that I'm targeting. And we can name it. I'm just going to hold off naming it right now. I have to choose the page I'm running it from, right, which is my business page. Now, there's this option called Dynamic Creative. What Dynamic Creative allows you to do is, instead of what I used to do back in the day, is I would run 5 different ads, all the same ads, 5 different pictures, and see which one the audience responded to best. And whichever one was responding to best, I would pour my money into that ad and, you know, kill the other ones, and maybe slightly change what I was going to say on each one, and, you know, just go with whatever worked. And it was this long process of A/B testing. With Dynamic Creative, it's automated. So it's a really cool feature. Its default is off, but you can go in and upload just the 5 pictures now and the 5 different headlines now, and Facebook will test those for you and just lead with the one that works best, which is incredible. And to be honest with you, they do a better job at it than I do. The Facebook algorithm is much smarter and faster and more versatile than me. So primarily I do that. Today, to limit because of our limited time, I'm not going to build 5 ads for one. So I'm just going to leave that off. But you can put that in. All you do is you build your one ad, but you just put variables in there, like I said, different pictures, different words, and let Facebook test it for you to your audience. So it's pretty cool. So what we need to do in the ad set is choose the audience. Who are we running this to? Now, most of you are probably used to going in and creating some really complex audience with a bunch of detailed targeting. You know, I want people that are college grads and make this much money or live in this area or blah, 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 blah. And you get this really complex audience. And that's actually not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to actually just have one variable, people living here who are interested in this. And that's your one ad set. And then you actually make another ad set, people living here, and just change one thing about it, who are, say, interested in this other thing. Because you really want to know, based on which audience responds best, which variable, which unique indicator in your targeting is the group that is most interested in this. And if you have 15, 20 variables in an audience, you don't really know what it was about that audience that was really unique that you want to retarget. So it's also actually cheaper to do it that way, and actually easier, though a little bit more work. We don't have time to go through all of that today. I want to show you how to make a lead ad. We're not going to have time to go through and make multiple ad sets and all of that, but just keep that in mind as a general strategy. What we're going to do today is create 2 audiences. All right. The first audience we're going to create is one that we already have. This is the best way to do stuff. So go into create new, custom audience. I'm going to show you that again. You probably missed that because I was talking so much. So here's create new audience. I come right here to create new. I'm going to hit custom audience. And it gives me a bunch of cool options. And one of these options is I'm able to upload my own list of people. This is actually the best option for most ads you run, is to target lists you already have, so that I'm not trying to spend money out of 1 million people I'm targeting to try to get to this, 100 people that might respond. Instead, I just upload a list of people I already know who I want. And I have lists. You probably have lists too. Very easy to run that. You can also target people who have already engaged with you in the past. That's called retargeting. People who have watched videos, people who have opened or completed past lead forms. That's why this is such a great way to target people, because even if they just open your lead form and don't fill it out and give you their phone number, you can retarget them. People who have engaged in your Facebook page, people who have gone to your website, lots of ways to retarget. So what we're going to do today for this lead ad is I'm going to target people who have watched a video of mine. So I'm going to choose people who have watched at least 25% of any video I've ever done are probably a prospect. And I'm going to choose this account, Stronghold Training. And I'm just going to go through and select various videos that would be pertinent and hit confirm. Now, I didn't choose a lot of videos, so that might not be enough of a large enough group. And then I would name that audience. But that would be one of the best ways to now put a lead form in front of those people. Why? Well, if they've already engaged in my content, they already have some familiarity with me and some trust. And the more bond they have with me, the more likely they are to give me their contact info. So that's my warmest audience, someone who's already engaged with me. A little bit harder with a cold audience, depending on what my offer is. If my offer is to have me call you and you don't know who I am, it's kind of hard. But if the offer is to have me call you and I've already helped you because you've watched one of my helpful videos, you're more likely to convert. So you see how that works. So I didn't save that audience because I already have one saved. So I'm going to use a saved audience. And there's my video retarget audience. All right, so they're already there. And then I just pick the time this runs. So I'm going to run this for 30 days. That's the default. And then I'm going to hit continue. If you have questions while I'm going through this, just drop it into the Q&A. And now that I've hit continue, it has brought me to the next stage, which is the ad itself, how to create the ad itself. I can go back and create another ad set, all right, another audience to run this to. Typically what I do is I create one ad set and one ad, and I run it. I wait for Facebook to approve it. Once Facebook has approved it, then I go back in and create more ad sets because they're more likely to approve those audiences now that the ad is already approved. What you don't want to do is go in and create 5 different audiences, and then if it gets disapproved, you just had 5 audiences disapproved, which is going to lower your advertiser rating and make you more likely to not get so quickly approved in the future. I get approved usually within an hour or two. When I first got into this and I was doing everything wrong, now hopefully I'm not doing everything wrong anymore. I used to get disapproved all the time. I had the worst advertiser rating, but now they seem to have figured it out. I've spent some money with them, and I think they like me at Facebook again. So you can name your ad, but now we're in the actual ad itself. And this is what you typically think of when you're creating an ad is, what it's going to look like. And you can have an image or a video. Image or a video. For today, we are going to have an image, right? So I'm going to add an image. And you'll notice I'm glossing over a lot of options. And you know why? Because they don't matter. When you first get into this, you're like, man, all these different options. What do I choose for this? What do I choose for this? The default's fine. I mean, what I'm showing you is pretty much all you need to know. I mean, I could have added my Instagram account to this and run this on Instagram, but I don't do that anymore. And the reason why is last week, I think it was last week, Instagram came out with their own kind of ad manager platform, and I just build ads there for that. I don't run Facebook ads over to Instagram. I mean, sometimes I will. If it's a video, I will, or just depending on the ad. I won't run ads for things like getting likes on my Facebook page. That's not helpful. It's bad for the Facebook algorithm. That's different on Instagram. It's good to have followers on Instagram, but if you're doing marketing there, influencer type marketing. But on Facebook, you just don't really need to get a bunch of likes on your page. It doesn't matter. They've changed the algorithm. No one's really going to see it anyway. Just run an ad. If you want someone to see what you're posting, run an ad, then they'll see it. Trying to get a bunch of likes is usually not the best way to go, at least in my opinion and in the opinion of most people that are doing this type of stuff now. All right, so I chose image. I chose my image. There's my image. I don't know why it did that. Let me just kill that. There we go. There's my image. So I have a little image there. It's just talking about my business, a little catchy image. You can choose it to automatically crop or not. Obviously, this image is not looking like it's fitting real well there. But you can go and create your own graphic. One of the easiest ways to create graphics, by the way, is a tool called Snappa. SNAPPA. Go to snappa.com. It's 15 bucks a month, and it will automatically size things and give you templates and stuff for every social media platform. I'm not a real good graphic designer, so things like Canva and some of those things are really hard for me to use. Photoshop's really hard for me. So I just use snappa.com. There's other tools out there like that, but Snappa, best 15 bucks a month I spend. I mean, it just lets me crank out this stuff at a somewhat professional level. And I'm getting slowly but surely better at graphics. I did not make this one. Employee of mine did. All right, so we've got my image, and now we get the text, the primary text. So what would be my offer? And we want to think in terms of offer here. If someone's going to click on this and give me their information, I need to offer them something, right? So I'm going to say, claim your free 2-hour training now. Not the best ad copy. I didn't think of that, what the ad copy would be before we started running this webinar today, but I want to have some sort of offer. Claim your free 2-hour training now. I'll put something here to make it a little bit more unique to the people I'm running this to. Or, you know, Tampa, I'm in Tampa, Tampa businesses. Claim your free 2-hour leadership training now. All right, so it's a little bit more unique to the people I'm running this to. You can have another headline here. I'm just going to put free leadership training. You can see it adjusting the ad over here. And this is the mobile news feed. You'll see it says mobile news feed here. So people see on a cell phone, I can adjust that to desktop news feed. You need to know your audience. Where are people primarily seeing your ads? I could put more stuff under there if I want. Top training. Company offers something. You know, I could put something there if you want. I usually try to keep it pretty bare. And then I can put a link if I want a link there. I can have a link right to my website or whatever. And then the call to action. Now, when they click this, it's going to pop a form because we are running a lead ad. So what I'm going to put is get offer. All right. So Tampa businesses, claim your free 2-hour leadership training now. Free leadership training, get offer. Or you can have learn more, you know, whatever. And then you've got forms that you can run. Today, we're going to create a new form. So the minute they click that button, this form pops up. This is only available in lead, Facebook lead ads. So new form. And then I've got two options here. So one is a form that's quick to fill out, easy breezy form. And another one gives them a chance to confirm their info and all that type of stuff. The more obstacles you put in front of people, the more they have to complete, the more they have to fill out, the less likely they are to do it. So you need to think about that. Do I want to ask more questions and have more filters? Will that be better for me? Or do I want to have less filters, get more people, but maybe have to sort them out on the back end? And do I really want to pay for the wrong people? So it's about finding that balance. I'm going to choose more volume. Then you click on intro here, and it's going to ask you to describe what people are going to receive. So I'm going to put choose the best leadership training for your team. We will deliver live in person. Oh, well, let me do that. For your team. Choose the best leadership training for your team. That fits. There we go. And I can use the image from my ad, or I can use a different image. And I will just leave that image for now. A lot of times I put a different image there. And then the layout, you have two options. One is more words, paragraph, or bullets. I like bullets. Bullets get read, all right, when people have short attention spans on social media. So I'll put like free 2-hour training, live, in person, or remote. Bring as many people as you like. You will choose the topic from our list of popular sessions. You will choose the time and date. So that's an example. Okay. Then we've got questions, and this is the form part of the form. It defaults to email and full name. And by the way, what's so great about this is Facebook already knows that information about them and will auto-populate it. You can go in here and add stuff. The more you add, the less likely they are to fill it out. But you know what? That's actually a good thing depending on the type of people you're trying to attract. So for me, I'm going to have to add in here company name, because I'm not just giving this away to the general public, right? So email, full name, company name. I'm going to put work email, job title, and then the big one, phone number, right? Now, that's a lot of stuff, but I only want real companies filling this out with real people with real jobs and real, if I get some weird email address there, I'm going to know this isn't probably a prospect of mine, and I'll probably just send them an email. These are just examples. And it says right here, adding too many questions may impact your form submission rate. And that's true. Ideally, you would just have email and phone number, or email and name is ideal. You just have to ask yourself, what am I going to do with this information? If the idea here is that I'm going to pick up the phone and call them, well, I'm going to need a phone number. You just need to make sure that whatever you're offering is good enough that they would give you their phone number to get it. There's ways around that. I could just get their full name and email address and then give them the thing, the list or the lead magnet or the article or the tool or whatever I'm offering here. I'm offering a free session, but typically what you're going to offer are things like lists, like download the top 20 best apps to use to run your marketing. I want that list. I'll give you my email and phone number. I'll give you my email and name for that. And now I can set them up on an email campaign to try to sell them on the back end. That's your typical lead magnet selling. That works really, really well. If you're in real estate, you might put a list of luxury homes in the area that have open houses this weekend, something that they might not be able to find from their own organic search. So obviously people that click on that are looking for homes, and they're looking for luxury homes, and that's great. They may give you their phone number to get that. If you don't think they will, ask for their email and full name. And when they click next and they get that list on your website, have another form there where they can fill out their phone their phone number for a free consultation. So there's a lot of stuff you can build into this. I see questions are starting to come in. One person asked, do we have to pay per person who fills out the info? Yep. But that's what's actually great about this, is because you don't pay a lot of money to reach the people with the ad, very little for that. You're primarily paying when someone fills it out. So you want to make sure it's worth it. Typically, you're going to spend anywhere from $5 to $20 per lead fill out, depending on it. So let me give you, the more people fill it out, the less you pay. Okay. So if you're running something like, hey, download a list of homes in your area that have open houses this weekend, and you get like 30 or 40 people to click on that, it's pretty high engagement, and you just have in their email and full name. So Facebook realizes that if they put this in front of people, people click on it and they like it. Facebook cares about engagement. If people like your ad and they're completing it, then they're not going to charge you a lot of money because they're not bothering people with it. So you may only spend $2 for those types of leads, and then you can call them or email them, and those types of leads are pretty cheap. Something like I'm running here, there's not a whole lot of people that are going to fill this out. It's going to be a very small engagement. I may get 4 or 5 leads in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or maybe even month on this campaign. So I might end up spending like $15 or $20 per lead, but that's totally worth it. If someone were to take a free 2-hour training from me who's a qualified prospect, I mean, I'd pay $300 for that lead. It doesn't matter because those are worth a lot of money to me. So you just need to figure that out for you. What I typically do is I run lead ads just to get people's email addresses. So I'll give away a free ebook or some tool or some list to get their email address. And then knowing they're interested in said topic, I will hit them with an email campaign to try to sell them something else, like a training or a coaching program or something like that. So again, you have to decide, where's the sale coming from? Is it coming on the back end on email? I might get their email address and send them more free stuff for a while to build some bond before I make an offer. Or I make offers while building bond. That's the best way to do it. Or maybe I go in right for the kill right here at the beginning. Complete this, schedule with me, and let's move on. Less people do it, costs me a little bit more. The value to me is much higher. That makes sense. You got to kind of figure out what your strategy is going to be. Happy to answer more questions on strategy too. Let's get through the form first, and then we can talk. Happy to coach everybody for the time we have remaining on any questions you have. So that's an example. Then you got to go some questions too. Then you got to go in and you got to add your privacy policy. It wants a text. We're going to make it privacy policy. And then it needs a URL to your actual privacy policy. If you don't have one, you can make a free privacy policy. It's like a tongue twister. Privacy policy online on the Googles. Just go to the Googles, type in free privacy policy. It's Friday. I promise I'm only drinking coffee. Privacy policy generator, and they're out there. Or you can pay for one, a few bucks. Or if you have a website like I do, you probably have one on your website. Just go down there and click on it, get the URL like I just did, right? Come right back here, paste it in. You can also have a custom disclaimer. I could put a custom disclaimer here. Terms, and have another page on my website that says something like, this is only for businesses that make $1 million a year or more, or something like that, if I was really wanting to be a jerk about it, or just needed some more custom stuff. You can have all the disclaimers you want. All right, then completion. And you'll see what they're seeing. So when they first pop it, it says, choose the best leadership training for your team. And they would click that and they could see some stuff about it. And they go, yeah, I'm interested in that. Next. All right, give us your contact info. That's a lot of contact info. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Next, privacy policy. And then they hit submit. Then it comes here. Thanks, you're all set. All right, so what we are going to do now is kind of tell them what happens at this point. So thank you. We will be in touch shortly via email. Give you the list of topics and a link to schedule. That would be an example. What you can do, let's say you were giving away a list that they were going to download. Thank you. Click the button to download the thing, whatever that thing is, right? Click the button to download it. Instead of view website, we would click download. Download now, right? They go, yeah, I want that thing. Now we have to have a link to where the download is. Now, if you have a website where you can put that thing for them to download, you can go ahead and let them go to your website and get the download there. If you don't, or you just don't really feel like having them go to yet another site, you can just put a link there for a Google Doc. So if you go to, if you got the Gmail, right, you can come here to this little Google Apps thing and go to your Google Drive. And inside your Google Drive, you can hit new and create put a file there. And if you have a file there, you can make that file shareable. I'm not going to do that today for sake of time, but you can make a shareable file. Anyone with this link can get this file. Not that hard to do. And you drop that link in here. So when they click download now, it brings them right to a Google download and drops the download into their download folder. That's usually the easiest way to do it if you don't want to send them away somewhere else and make them click another button. Every time they do that, they're less likely to convert. So the easiest way to do this is to have a really, really cool thing you're giving away, like a list for something that people you would want to work with would want. You make that list really obtainable by only asking for their name and email address. Give them direct access to that list by downloading it from a Google Doc, and then following up with them, either if you got their phone number via an immediate call or have an email sequence that begins to follow them after that. And that is good stuff. Now, you don't have to do this if you just want to retarget people who click on stuff. You could just have another non-lead form. You could just have a conversion ad where they click it and they go and they can still download something from your website. You don't have to have this lead form. You can just have a conversion ad. They click it, go to your website and download the thing the old school way. The advantage of the lead form is I can ask for more information like a phone number. And people who are likely to fill this out are much higher, more valuable prospects for you. The other advantage of this is on the conversion ad, every time someone clicks that thing, I got to pay for it. On this, the primary money I'm paying for is when someone actually completes the form. So it's just better. And that's why this is the best form for entrepreneurs to run, the best type for getting leads. If you're in real estate or you're a small business and your sales process involves having a conversation with someone, then this is the best ad for you to really run, is to get people to download something great from you, something where you help them, and then you follow up with them, email or phone, and try to help them more by a consultation. That is where my clients that are entrepreneurs close the most business. Matter of fact, this past week in my private client group, if you're interested in that, you can go to strongholdtraining.com/PCG for private client group, or just go to strongholdtraining.com. It's right there. I mean, they're getting, some of these people are getting 20, 30 leads every other week, and they're valuable leads. They're picking up the phone and calling them because they're offering something these people want, and they're willing to give their phone number, and they're picking up the phone and calling them. And that's much better than trying to get the other person to take a whole lot of actions to finally pick up the phone and call you. Instead, they're just offering them something really helpful, getting their phone number in exchange for that, and then calling them right away and saying, hey, can I help you anymore? And starting that human contact, which is much easier to convert than the digital way. So once you have done all that, you'll click confirm, and then you will publish it. Once you click confirm, the next option would be publish. I'm not going to, well, I can confirm this, but I'm not going to publish this one today. And then you'll click publish. And when you do, go back to Ads Manager. By the way, if you want to see how to make another type of ad, I have a 13-minute video on just how to make a basic conversion ad, which I will link to the follow-up to this, this webinar replay. So claim your free training. Here's one I did a sample of the same exact thing for some clients recently, and I was paying 19 bucks per ad there. And I just did that as a test on it. Ran it to a small list of 60 companies. If any one of them would have paid for that, I would have spent $500 for those leads. They're typically worth $45,000 each to me. So I've been happy to spend lots of money to get them. But my clients, like I said, in this past week's private client group, many of them were seeing 10 leads a week, 20 leads a week for real estate leads, for selling other things like training programs, things like that. They had great offers, and they said, fill out this form to learn if you qualify, or fill out this form to download this list. And people were filling them out in droves, and they were getting their phone numbers, and they were picking up the phone, calling them right away, and starting to work to convert those people. And so it worked really, really well. The best campaign for entrepreneurs, in my humble opinion. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that and go to your questions. Get your questions in now. We got 15 minutes. All right, answered that one. Next question. How would this be worth it if I'm trying to build my monthly readership database? That comes from my friend David Moss. David, welcome. He has an excellent publication for seniors. David, go ahead and put the link to your publication there in the chat, not in the Q&A. Put it in the chat so everyone can check that out. Excellent publication for seniors. It's no cost to the seniors. He makes all of his revenue from advertisers. And so he's wondering, would this be worth it to build up his readers? Obviously, the more readers he has, the more people would want to pay for ads in his publication. That's how advertising works, if you didn't know. So would it be worth it to build up your subscription? You know, I don't think you need to do a lead form ad for that, David. I would just run a conversion ad. I would just run a conversion or engagement ad, send them to your website where they can preview the publication and just sign up there for free. Then you're only paying for the conversion, which would be much cheaper than the lead form. You could run both and just compare what you get. It wouldn't hurt. I mean, it'd certainly be worth it. As far as the answer, your question is it worth it? Yes. I mean, I think you would be more than happy to pay, say, $5 per new subscriber. So they would just complete the form to subscribe. So just complete this form to subscribe. Would work fine. You could also, just to kind of skirt the issue, you could run a Facebook Messenger campaign. Send me a message to subscribe, or just a comments campaign. You know, a link to a sample and say, comment, subscribe me below, and we'll subscribe you. And they click subscribe me, and then you just send them a Facebook message saying, hey, give me your address or whatever, a link to a form to fill out. There's ways around it, but I think it would be worth it. I would want to test it against a conversion ad, though. I would run both. I would run one as a lead form ad, one as a conversion ad, same exact ad, and see which one outperforms the other, and see if you could keep your ad cost below whatever a subscriber is worth to you. So if it's $5 per subscriber, whatever you would pay, I would test it that way. That's seniorlifepublications.com. All right, any other questions here today? Good question, David. You guys got me for another 12 minutes. You want me to coach you on what I think you should be doing to get more leads, or any Facebook or marketing questions you have at all, ask away. I will check the chat. All right, another one comes in here. Dana says she appreciates this greatly. Good, like to help. I've never used the lead gen consideration. Never realized the additional option it provides. Yep. By the way, just go in and make an ad from every single one of them and just check them out. What it doesn't tell you is how the algorithm, it tries to tell you how the algorithm changes. Like, for example, an engagement ad tries to get as many likes and comments as possible. So the algorithm shows engagement ads to people who engage on Facebook. Conversion ads get people to go and buy things. So Facebook primarily shows those ads to people who have clicked to buy things before on Facebook. So just so you guys know, that's how the algorithm works. So that type of ad really matters, and they also have unique options. Dana's always done it kind of the old school way, taking traffic ads and sending people to a specific website for her properties, which actually still work great. Nothing wrong with traffic ads. That algorithm is for people who typically click to go off site. So it works. Sometimes harder to get conversion, but still works really well. Traffic ads still work. My question is about the custom list. Do you need to upload a brand new list each time it grows, or can it be updated? Yeah, so you can have, if you save the audience, then it's saved. It's saved. You don't have to upload a list every single time. The only time you would upload the list again is that saved audience that has been tested by Facebook's algorithm has developed and matured, right? There's people that it might not serve it to again on that list because they never responded, or maybe there's new people they found that are similar to those people. So the saved audience will have your saved list, and then over time it matures. If you wanted it to be fresh, you would want to upload a fresh list again. But typically I don't, because you have to spend some money and time for Facebook to test that, the algorithm to test that. Usually 4 days is how long I will test any audience. So once you've uploaded your list and run it, save that same audience. Just because an audience doesn't perform doesn't mean they wouldn't perform with a different ad. You just know with that particular ad, that audience didn't respond. So we really need to do that type of testing. Great question. Sounds like Dana knows a little bit of something what she's doing there. Again, nothing wrong with traffic ads. I have just found for the money, conversion ads do the same thing. And there are people out there who just will never click and buy anything. And Facebook knows who they are, and I don't want them to send them to my website. So I don't usually use them. Traffic ads do work though, especially if I'm trying to get someone to view a video on my website. I will run a traffic ad in that case, not just a conversion ad. All right, any other question, guys? Here they come in. She says she likes this much better. Now, here's what real quick on that. Before I convert you too much, let me give you a little disclaimer there, Dana. There's nothing wrong with running both. Right. So run your traffic ad, and then also run your lead form ad to have them download your list on your website, or to gain access to your website with an exclusive link to the search that you make on your website. That's what I would do. The lead form ad is definitely better. I would definitely run that over the conversion ad. But if you were worried that you just weren't getting enough traffic, make a separate campaign with the conversion and just compare the two. But I'd have two separate links on your website. So one link would be available. Like if they filled out the form and they clicked the link, they would go immediately to your site and get the search, the results they wanted immediately. The other link on your website would be one with an opt-in form that they would have to opt in on your website to get. Either way, I would not send anyone to your website if you didn't get some sort of data from them that you could pick up and call them. If you're running a list to get leads, that is. Now, there's nothing wrong with sending people to your website without getting personal information if you're just trying to build a bond with them, or you just want to capture the fact that they clicked something and retarget them in the future. Obviously, that makes sense. That's how we build what's called the invisible list. But if you're trying to get like real leads, this lead format is the way to go. If you're not tired of hearing my voice, I am. All right. If you guys are hanging out, I'm hanging out. You got a question? I got answers. So I'll shut up a second and hydrate. You think of whatever questions you have, anything at all. All right. Question came in. Can we talk a little bit about retargeting? Yep. I'm going to show you how to do it. Share my screen. Back into the ad manager. This is how you do a retarget. I'm going to create a campaign. And what do we want to retarget them with? We want to retarget them with a lead form. We want to retarget them with a conversion click ad. We're just going to do a conversion. Doesn't matter. You can retarget with anything. So I clicked conversion ad, so I don't have the option of that form anymore. All right. So I'm going to convert them to my website. It's pay per click. So the retargeting is right here in this audience thing, this ad set thing. So if I click create new custom audience, let's say I want to retarget someone who watched my video. I would click video and choose the video view and retarget them. If I want to retarget someone who had opened my lead form but didn't fill it out, click lead form, Anyone who opened this form, I have to click my page. Anyone who opened this form in the last 90 days, select the form. You select the form. You name that audience, and I would just name it retarget, whatever the form was, free class form opens, something you'll understand. And then you create that audience. And now I just click create an ad, or I can click done. Now I'm retargeting people who opened this lead form. And what's great about the retargeting, guys, is I actually create my retargeting campaigns when I create my lead form campaigns. This is advanced, it's a little advanced, but if I create a lead form campaign, most people are going to click and they're going to see all that information. I go, not yet. Let me go back to watching cat videos, right? I want those people to immediately trigger my retarget. So now, because they probably didn't fill that out because they just didn't feel like it, they were distracted, or because they didn't have enough bond with me yet. So immediately I'm going to retarget them with something like a free something or other, right? Like something they don't have to give me as much to get. So I might retarget them with a free video. I might retarget them with a free tool, a free download, along the same lines of whatever I was trying to get them to do. So before I was giving away a free leadership training. So now what my retarget would probably be is download a coaching guide, right? Something for free, or watch this leadership video type of thing. I'll just retarget them with a video, or usually I retarget with video, or retarget with some sort of download. And immediately when they open that form and close it, Facebook triggers them onto this list, and it'll start showing them that ad. I mean, literally like 2 or 3 scrolls down their news feed. There I am again, offering them something cool for free, and they click on it. Hey, I didn't have to fill out a form. Don't worry, it's going to keep showing them the form ad too, especially now that they clicked it. All right, that's how you retarget. Kristen, who is a member of my private client group, writes in to ask, so I was killing it on Tuesday. 6 to 8 leads came in on Tuesday. Wow, good job. She's using these forms, lead forms. Wednesday, her marketing person changed some things for retargeting, and you've only gotten 4 leads since Wednesday. Is that right? My other ad is still running. Not sure why. Seems like it just stopped, unless Tuesday is the day to run ads. Yeah. So Kristen, as you know, in the private client group, you would want to come on the hot seat so I could take a look and see what your marketing person did there. I never change anything that's working. I make a duplicate ad and make the change in the duplicate ad, and then compare the two. And if the duplicate ad runs better, then I kill the other ad. Never, ever, ever change something that's working. I suggest you go, oh, that's what you did. You duplicated. Okay. Well, because it's the same audience, the first ad is not being run to that audience as much now. It's running both. So Facebook is doing some A/B split. This is why I'm a big fan of the dynamic creative, because when you use a dynamic creative ad, I give them those options and Facebook tests that for me, and it will snowball in its own way. So I'm a big fan of dynamic creative for that. I would just kill the other one. I don't know. I have to look at it in the come on the hot seat on Thursday. Let's look at that. I think I have access to your ads manager. I'll go take a look. To be honest though, in all fairness, Kristen, you had 6 or 8 leads come in on Tuesday, and then you had only 4 leads on Wednesday. It's really not that bad. Leads, there's no rhyme or reason, they ebb or flow. Basically, you just need to look and see, are you getting leads within the budget you set? Then it ain't broken, right? Sometimes fresh ads, the first time someone sees it, they're more likely to, you're probably just exhausting your list a little bit. Like the people that were likely to clicked. Now the people that are more hesitant to click are the ones that it's showing it to. So I don't think that that's necessarily indicative that your marketing person broke anything. But if you're really worried about it, just kill the new duplicate ad and see if it changes anything. You can always fire it back up again. But don't delete it, just turn it off, and you can always turn it back on later. But honestly, like, I would just leave it alone. It's probably just those people. That's the thing. That's why these campaigns usually only run for at most 30 days. People, if they've shown it to people over and over and over again, depending on the size of your audience. If you have a large audience, though, it's different. So it really, my question for you is, how large is your audience? You know, we might need to freshen up the audience, not necessarily change the ad. Dana says, are you requiring an email for that free download you retarget them with? Yeah, great question. I usually do. Because I email them the thing. Sometimes I'll let them just download it straight from my site and just retarget them as a conversion. With a download, I usually try to get an email because I have found email marketing is where the money is at for what I do. For something like real estate, things like that, I would probably still want, I would really try to get, I don't know if you're in real estate. I don't know why I'm assuming you're in real estate, Dana. Your name just looks really familiar to me. My apologies if I'm not placing it. But I try to get a phone number in real estate. My retarget, again, though, primarily what I retarget, video. I usually retarget with video because if they opened a lead form and they didn't complete it, I want to build bond with them. So I will send, like, for example, what was my giveaway? Leadership training. So I'd rather retarget them with a video of me talking right there on Facebook about leadership, and then have, you know, a click in that video to go to my website or something like that, or to fill out a message. And then maybe retarget those people with another offer, something like that, if that makes sense. All right, questions are pouring in. I don't mind hanging out late. Hopefully I'm answering these okay. All right. All right, looks like you guys are just giving me some responses on the stuff I was saying. Appreciate that. So if I don't have any other questions, I hope this has been helpful. Now, some of you are like, that's a lot. Like, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'm not really sure where to begin. Let me tell you where to begin. Where you begin is you go in and you just try making one. Go in and play around with it. Just go in and start making one. Just don't hit publish, and start learning the ins and outs and see where you get stuck. You're going to learn the best by kind of poking around with it and see where you get stuck. If you get especially stuck on the lead gen ad, go in and just make a traffic ad. They're the easiest to make. Go in and make a traffic ad. Try to learn how to do it. And don't spend more than $2 a day on your audience to test your audience. I always start off with $2 a day to test my audience. And as that audience begins using that $2 a day, I'm getting traffic, I up it to $5 a day. When that starts working, I go to 10. And usually then I'll know the other audiences aren't working if I have more than one, and I'll turn them off. So I'm still spending the same amount of money. And then once those start going well, I move those up to 20, eventually to 50, and then to 100. And once you're doing $100 a day, that would mean you're probably doing really, really well. So that would be the big times. That takes some time. But $2 to $10 a day is the most I run. Really $2 a day per audience until those audience work. And if they don't work, then I turn them off. So I don't normally spend more than $20 or $30 to find an audience that works. And I save those audiences and run multiple stuff to them. And if you're doing a lead gen ad, you know, you might want to start off with $5 or $10 a day because your lead form might cost that. So start off with $10 a day, run it for a week, maybe 10 days to let Facebook's algorithm kind of figure it out. And if you get a lead, great. It's probably worth 10 bucks. Find out. If you don't get any leads, but you had a lot of opens, you're asking for too much information. And if you're not getting anything at all, you're either targeting a bad audience or your offer isn't good enough. So make another one and try again. What have you spent? You know, if no one's clicking, you didn't spend any money. So it's not like you were spending $10 a day. It doesn't use the $10 a day unless people are responding. So if no one's responding to your ad, you probably won't spend $20 in 10 days, and you just go make another one. The cheapest form of advertising in the world. It's the best thing in the world for entrepreneurs. If you would like to know how to do this more, I don't know of anything better than my private client group as far as from a cost standpoint. My private client group isn't for people who are trying to become digital marketer extraordinaires, though. My private client group is only for entrepreneurs and small business owners who already have a sales process. They just want to get more people into that sales process in a more predictable way. We don't just talk marketing in there either. We talk about what your sales process should look like and other sales tactics, but we do talk a lot about marketing. And the goal of the private client group is to get people to have conversations with you, because you're going to be better at converting them than social media. Social media is just your way to do the prospecting. Your sales process is where you do all the closings. I just need to get people into your sales process, and it's worth it. It's only $100 a month. If you'd like to try it for cheaper than that, I will send you a coupon, but head on over to strongholdtraining.com/PCG. If you registered for this webinar, then you're going to get a coupon. If you didn't, full price ain't bad either. So head on over to strongholdtraining.com, check out the private client group. If you found this helpful, you're really going to find that helpful, because like Kristen, who was just on, she'll be on the hot seat next Thursday, and I'll be fixing her ads with her, and she's getting leads. You saw it. I didn't ask her to be here. David, I'd love to see you in the private client group. Twisting your arm. If I can help you guys, great. You can also head to my website and even book time with me there as well. It's a little bit more costly that way, but it's more exclusive, obviously. So, all right, guys, I went a few minutes over and some bonus time. Hope you found that helpful. Still some questions? Nope, looks like we got through them. Watch for my emails. We're gonna be doing this Freebie Friday every week. Thanks so much, guys. See you on the next video.